BlogTalk Radio.
Hello, everyone. This is Chrism, and I'd like to invite you to a conversation about your Kundalini awakening experience. And today I'd like to welcome you on this beautiful April 10th, sunshiny, soft, breezy day in Northern California on the west coast of the United States. So welcome, everybody, from here. Welcome, everyone who visits us in the archives. Nice to have you listening in as well. And at this time, I would like to invite Amelia Santara to come on and make some announcements.
Hello, everybody. Well, I would like to welcome you to a very cold and just above freezing temperature from Ireland, very different to Chrism's. It's 11 p.m. on my side of the world. It is 10 days to go to the retreat, and I would like to tell you about it if you don't know about it already. It is happening in Santa Rosa on April the 20th. It is a Saturday, and on April the 21st, which is a Sunday. And this is a Kundalini Awakening Systems retreat, and it is led by Chrism. And it is, I suppose, it's a 2-day non-residential Kundalini retreat, and it's an opportunity for meditation and education about the awakened Kundalini. And it's an invitation to everybody to the awakening of your spiritual evolution while participating in a Kundalini community gathering. And on this retreat, the overall emphasis is going to be on helping each person find his or her own unique path into the grace that is their Kundalini awakening journey. And so I hope that some of you, or many of you, will be able to join us for what promises to be a really special gathering of Kundalini people at a very large and lovely private space that we've booked for this gathering in Santa Rosa. And so if you have any questions, if you're curious, or if you have some interest in attending, or if you definitely would like to attend, just you can drop me a line to the email address, which is kundalinimatters@gmail.com, or you could ring Eileen Laurel at 239-426-5608, and we will answer any questions that you might have. So with 10 days to go, we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. That's it, Chrism.
Thank you, Amelia. Yeah, anybody that wants to come to this gathering, it's a unique event. You don't get to meet a lot of Kundalini awakening people in your lifetime. It's still not a very common occurrence. So, yeah, come out here. The weather's great. The weather's warm. I think it's around 74 right now, 75. And it's a soft breeze. All the flowers are in bloom. The bees are out. Everybody's in a good space here. In the natural world on the West Coast, Northern California. So come and be a part of this Kundalini Awakening gathering. I would like to thank Amelia Santara for her sponsorship and support of this program on BlogTalk Radio. I would like to thank Amelia Santara and her husband and her children for their contribution and their support in making this program available to you. So thank you, Santara and family. And special congratulations to Jonathan St. Christopher, who just had his naming day there, I think, yesterday. So congratulations to you, Jonathan. And I would also like to express my gratitude to Eileen Laurel, as Santara just recently mentioned, as she helped film the latest video that we have out on the YouTube channel, which is Chrism Zero Kundalini, and it's called Kundalini and Sacred Skills. And she was the camera woman for that, and she did a wonderful job. And I would encourage any and all of you who have an interest in the Kundalini and the sacred skills that often come with the Kundalini to give that video a watch, just to at least you can see at least where the Kundalini in me is directing you to focus your efforts. So thank you, Eileen Laurel. And I would like to thank you, the audience, for tuning in today, and for you, the audience in the future, in the archives, tuning in when is convenient for you. Today's topic is going to be a bit eclectic. I decided to just kind of go with the flow of consciousness on this one and not have a pre-planned topic, and yet, even as I did that, I felt the Kundalini putting together a program for you, and this program is really about the joy, the joy, the happiness, the grace, and the beauty that the Kundalini awakening brings to a person. All creatures on this world and in this universe strive to go into the divine. They strive to reach for that inner light. This is why you see the fish are attracted to the bright light. The insects are attracted to a bright light. People are attracted to bright lights. And you see this reflected, no pun intended, you see this reflected in the kind of clothing they wear, or sometimes the color of their car, or people are attracted to brightly colored things, but behind that color is always a frequency of light. So people are attracted to the light, and all creation really is attracted to that light. Even the dark areas, they are part of the light. Without dark, you can't have light. Without shadow, you can't have light. And so even the shadow areas are a manifestation of the light. Okay. And with the Kundalini awakening, this happens in a very real way. You don't just see a light, you become that light, and that light becomes you. And in that process and in those changes and that transformation is where we in the dual, non-dual world come into play. Because with Kundalini, you go into that non-duality, that oneness. Look at a triangle with the point going upwards, and you'll see that point is non-duality. That point is oneness. The top of the triangle, the top of the pyramid is that oneness, and yet at the same time, the base of the pyramid, or of the triangle in this example, is dual. This is the Kundalini. This is that dual non-duality that I am speaking of. And when you reach that non-duality, aspects of purification begin to manifest within the body. And in many ways, it feels like a load has been lifted from your shoulders, and you can walk very, very lightly upon this world. And often levels of ahimsa, or do no harm, becomes a standard operating procedure, an SOP, for those of you who understand what SOPs are. And for those of you who don't, it's the little the catchphrase for standard operating procedure that hospitals and law enforcement and military and all of these guys use. Standard operating procedures, and this becomes the standard operating procedure of Kundalini. Ahimsa is a level of showing respect and love and action-based gratitude for creation on this world. You don't step on the bugs anymore. You don't kill things with pesticides or herbicides or fungicides or insecticides anymore. You begin this beautiful, beautiful awareness of life and creation, and how it is part of the beautiful tapestry that you are also part of. Your life and the trajectory of your life is just as important as that individual ant that you're stepping over on the sidewalk. It's just as important and as beautiful as that tiny little salamander that's living in the cracks of that cement. Your life is as important as those lives, and those lives are as important as yours, and you begin to understand this. Not to say that death doesn't occur. Of course it occurs. This is a predatory world, and other life forms consume other life forms, and that is natural. That is part of how the Kundalini Shakti, or AKA Mother Nature, set this up. Okay, but no longer do you need to go into it from a fear-based perspective. Now, because you're at one with life, you're at one with these beautiful expressions of life. Now you take a different approach, and that approach is to do no harm as best that you can. And even as you walk across the lawn and your great weight bears down upon the leaves, the grasses, and the creatures that live within them, within the Kundalini radiance that emanates from the bottom of your feet, no harm is done. No harm is done. Now you begin to walk with feet of grace. And with feet of grace, the Kundalini leads you into areas of love and forgiveness and gratitude and devotion and worship that you have never before felt was possible for you. Perhaps you grew up in a household that didn't practice any kind of spirituality, like my household. When I grew up in Northern California, back right after the dinosaurs became extinct, we didn't practice a form of spirituality. We Sunday was just another weekend day, which, God, I'm still grateful for that. I needed that sleep-in time. My parents told me that they would support me in whatever religion I decided to partake of, as long as it wasn't hurtful to other people. Okay, so I was given permission, but as a child, I didn't really take that seriously. Like I said, Sunday was just another day away from school, so I was happy to worship Sunday in my own juvenile way, which was quite juvenile in many times during those days. And so, I wasn't raised with any kind of a spiritual practice, and perhaps you weren't either. And if you did have a spiritual practice, well then, what a great start that you had in accepting the beauty and the spiritual oneness that comes with the Kundalini. Well, I didn't have that start. Okay, so I started out just kind of a blank slate, and I came into different religious belief systems, tried them a little, kind of stuck my toe in the water, felt it around, and was like, well, maybe not this one, and well, maybe not that one. And I tried a lot of different spiritual approaches until, the Kundalini came for the transformation of the physical body, and then I realized that all belief systems end at the Kundalini. The goal of all belief systems is a refinement process towards the awakening of the Kundalini in a person, and so Kundalini, as it awakens within you, gives you this amazing sense of a combination of things, that something tremendously beautiful has been accomplished by you. Oh, by the way, you might hear some birds in the background, and we have birds here, and sometimes they like to partake of the conversation, and so if you hear them in the background, just know that they're saying hello. So you feel this sense of great accomplishment without any kind of an ego basis attached to it. It's like something really phenomenal has happened, something wondrous, something beautiful, something mysterious has occurred, and And you know that it's happening to you. And this fills you with joy. This fills you with love. This fills you with amazing levels of gratitude. Gratitude to divinity. Whatever the word is that you use for divinity. You're plunged into a beautiful pool of grace. And this grace wraps itself around you and nourishes you and comforts you and begins to prepare you for levels of continuous refinement that are necessary, as you go further into the Kundalini. The first steps into grace are absolutely gorgeous steps. Unless, of course, you've done things like, say, a psychedelic, LSD, or some herb or some mushroom or something like that has kind of pushed you into a situation where you're storming the gates of divinity. That can hold some more trauma than you would otherwise have. And so, of course, that entrance can be very fear-provoking, and yet, if you trust that Kunalini, if you trust it within you, if you know it's Kundalini number one, and that is necessary, you can tap into the grace and the goodness. It will tap into you, and even though you will see your fears materialized, you can also see your joys materialized at the same way if you're able, in that circumstance, to manifest that joy amidst your fears. But the Kundalini, if you're awakening not from that perspective, or if you received a Shaktipat and you're awakening from that perspective, certainly if you receive Shaktipat from me, which is what I'll be giving people at this Kundalini event coming up, if you receive Shaktipat from me, then it is imbued with knowledge. It is imbued with information. And with that knowledge and that information, a security is given to you that really helps you not fall into levels of fear. And of course, you're given as much follow-up advice and information and support as I can give to you, with my limited means, but with the computers and whatnot at times. But you're given into these levels of support that can be very, very helpful for you as you come into this level of purification. As some of you might know, some of you who have had Skype sessions with me, and especially like a first-time Skype session, what can happen is a new vector of approach from my Kundalini to your Kundalini, kind of like the conversation is as much between the two divinities as well as the two human, flesh-body individuals that are talking over Skype. You may begin to understand if you flow with the information, if you flow with what is being given, if you open yourself to the levels of grace that are being given through the Skype session, you begin to see its effects in your household. You'll notice that your children, if they have been anxious, or your pets, if they have been anxious or whatever, they begin to show signs of serenity, happiness, joy. And it's very important, really, for a household to begin to resonate with these levels of happiness and joy. Open communication, accepting information, accepting love and giving love and gratitude and the truths and the honesty of those truths that are given between family members and I include pets as family members. So the Kundalini brings you into this level of grace and happiness once again, depending on how the Kundalini is activated in you, it brings you into this level of grace and happiness so that you can begin to build a power center based on knowledge and authentic experience for the purifications that are going to come. And these purifications are all about really the ego and how we begin to slowly or quickly, depending on the individual, begin to untangle the ego's control over our lives, over the decisions we make in our lives, over the choices that we make in our lives. The Kundalini is giving you this joyful power base, this joyful experience to know what it is to be accepted into a divine embrace, so that when you go into these areas of purification, that even though some of these areas may be painful because they challenge your preconceived ideas of what is and what isn't to be for you, they challenge these areas that you can look back and go, oh, wait a minute, this is part of the purification process. I can do this. This is my Kundalini giving me an opportunity to lighten my anxiety load, to lighten the level of control that my ego has upon me. And this is a big deal. This is a big deal when you begin to realize, after all these years of purification just to have the Kundalini, you begin to realize that the Kundalini and you are now working together to come into balance within yourself, the areas of understanding and the areas of control that need to be shifted within you. Serious controls need to be shifted within you. And there is joy within that. There is happiness within that. You come into this after you have these initial feelings. The feelings can build into this assuredness that oh my God, I have found the path for me. After all those years of searching and all those years of practicing this belief system that maybe I couldn't buy into totally, but at least it gave me some sort of community. But I finally had to leave it because it just didn't ring as true as I needed it to ring. And all these years of looking, at Christianity, at Buddhism, at Zoroastrianism, at shamanism, at New Ageism, at all of these different things, and it's like finally I'm home. Kundalini has found me, and I am home. And you can't get enough of it. Really, it drives you further and further and further into the depths and the heights of the great divinity that is within you. The God, Goddess, the two that are one and the one that is two within you. And it goes beyond words. It goes beyond words. I could just send these intentions to you in a broad spectrum telepathic burst. And I think I'll do that. Just hang on a second here. There. Some things can only be shared in a format that encompasses all sensorial input. And telepathy is one of those ways. You can walk into a person. So I've left that invitation for any and all people listening right now and people who are listening into the future. Once again, a Kundalini signature does not diminish. It stays vital and active for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It's just, once again, it's beyond words. So the happiness and the grace give you this confidence to move further into these fields of purification. And the fields of purification They're necessary because they allow you to complete the mission, so to speak. They allow you to complete the mission. They allow you to find the areas that have been missed, not so much missed, but have been saved for this time in your life. And this can be areas of jealousy, areas of fear. Jealousy basically is just a form of fear. Areas of abandonment, areas of a misunderstood quality within a human being. Whether if you don't feel that you're a beautiful person, or you've always been having some self-worth issues around your looks or around your abilities to survive and function in this world. These become worked on by you and the Kundalini in ways that are perfect for you and your continued journey into the Kundalini. So these areas of self-worth are worked on. The areas of how you assign worthiness to other people are worked on. Are you a tolerant person? Are you an honest person? Are you a loving person? Are you a considerate person? Are you a caring person, sympathetic, compassionate? Do you actively strive to help other people, or do you actively strive to hurt other people? What has become the habit that expresses itself through you today? How is the set of your mouth? Is it in the set of a smile, or is it in the set of a permanent frown? You don't even need to look in the mirror to answer that question. You know how it is for you. So I really encourage you to open to this level of purification, this level of refinement that is finishing and starting at the same time. You're finishing the action of awakening or activating or even knowing about the Kundalini, and now you're beginning to walk into it. And you're opening yourself so that it can walk into you, walking up your spine, from your tailbone to your spine, from the bottoms of your feet to your tailbone to your spine, and out the fontanelle at the top of your head. That is the new journey. That is the new mountain that we are walking as we embrace and are embraced by the Kundalini. The numbers, if you want to call in, the numbers for the call-in number from anywhere in the world is 347-934-0026. 347-934-0026. I would also like to give you some addresses for more of this information that you can just read with your computer as you go to these different websites. The first website would be Kundalini Awakening Systems 1.com, and that's the number one. So Kundalini Awakening Systems 1.com leads you to the website, and on that website, Glenn Ola, who I would like to shout out a thank you to. Thank you, Glenn Ola. Thank you, and have a great experience at EarthCore. That's a wonderful gathering of people in the Victoria area of Australia. And so, Glenn, thank you for allowing this information to come out through your website there. So that's the first address that I'd like to give to you. And another address would be the YouTube address that I gave to you earlier, and I'll give it to you again. It's Chrism 0 Kundalini, because it looks like Chrism O Kundalini, on YouTube. And I have 225 videos, I think, or 218. I haven't released all the videos yet. And this gives you a very, very wide, compared to other sources of information on the internet. This gives you a very wide pattern of information for you to draw on regarding a Kundalini awakening. Everything from the dark night of the soul to entities, to kriyas, to cranial plate migration, to many of the different phenomena and aspects of the Kundalini awakening, all the way up to super skills that we just discussed and released onto that channel yesterday. So the YouTube channel is Chrism O Kundalini or Chrism Zero Kundalini at YouTube. And then we're present on Yahoo, and the Yahoo group, which is a beautiful community, is located at Kundalini Awakening Systems 1 at yahoogroups.com. And so you can visit us there on the Yahoo groups communities. And we are also in Facebook as well. And in Facebook, we have two Kundalini Awakening Systems 1 at Facebook groups. We have Kundalini exclamation point or Kundalini Awakening exclamation point on Facebook groups. We have a Kundalini ashram also on the Facebook groups area. So you can feel free to join those groups and partake in the conversations there. These conversations are 95% all about the Kundalini and how we respond to the Kundalini, what we do, and what may not be something that you want to do, like say doing a lot of drugs and alcohol and then trying to have a Kundalini awakening. Not the best way to go, but it is a way that some people do go. And so we talk about all these beautiful pathways that the Kundalini within us can take, and much of that is based on our karma. We're also in this Google Circles thing. Google Plus. We're also in Google Plus, and so if you want to add me in your circle, just look for. There's a community there called Kundalini Awakening Systems 1. So that community is on Google Plus, and also there's a blog that I'd like to bring your awareness to, and that is Ascension Kundalini, because Kundalini is really it's a wonderful introduction into the ascension process, and that is what Kundalini does. You're ascending through the many-leveled physical expression into the many more leveled energetic and spiritual expression at the same time as you're in the physical expression. So I would like you to go to this blog. It's www.ascensionkundalini blog, and you'll see it there. It's got Chrism on it and all of that. It's by Chrism, I think, is how it's searchable in Google. And I'd like you to join that blog, and if you wish to donate to what it is I do here, and then there's a donate button if you wish to do that as well. But read the information there. Look at the pictures. Really begin to let yourself see love in all things. See Kundalini in all things. See divinity in all things. Another website is KundaliniAwakeningSeminars.com, and that has a good level of information on it, especially the page that's called How It Works. And I invite you to go to that website, KundaliniAwakeningSeminars.com, and click on the How It Works page. And this kind of gives you an idea of how the chakras are spaced and what some of the expressions are and things of that level. And let me see if I'm missing any of the other places. Kundalini Matters at gmail.com. This is a website that is set up by Amelia Santara, It's a very, very beautiful website, and she has a lot of information on that website, Kundalini Matters at gmail.com. And another one is Kundalini Living, and I believe that is a blog. That is Eileen's blog. And she also has an extremely powerful level of information waiting for you to come and explore. And I will invite you to look into those areas as well. And so as we continue to experience the love of Kundalini, this love often will become intensified into levels of bliss. And bliss is supremely powerful. You can actually have bliss and move around a little bit, but it will come in different frequencies of strength. So, for instance, if you're having bliss and you're driving your car, well, then you should still be able to operate your car safely. Okay. But as the bliss levels grow stronger and stronger, and they will, as you purify and as you begin to move through the samskaras or the blockages and the areas of the ego and of karma that you need to move through, the levels of bliss can actually increase. And they can increase so much that they turn into levels of ecstatic bliss. And these ecstasies are supremely powerful, and you really, my experience of them is I can't do anything. I'm frozen in place, except with the body heaving, kind of spasming with this amazing level of ecstasy. I've had memory loss occur. It's temporary. I mean, the memory comes back, but the experience is so powerful that there's nothing you can do. And really, there's nothing that you want to do except have that bliss. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful, amazing experience. And this will happen over and over and over and over again. But part of the understanding is that you must continue to flow into what the Kundalini is giving you to do. It can't be all about your responding to the phenomena. Phenomena response is, of course, a very important thing, and there are good ways to respond to the phenomena. But it can't be all about just you being a reactionist to the phenomena that the Kundalini creates in your body. You get to walk into this now. The Kundalini does lay out a path for you, but you have to actually walk the path. You can literally stand stationary on the Kundalini path, and you'll have all of these experiences happen to you, and you can react to the phenomena of the Kriyas, you can react to the phenomena of the entities, you can react to the bliss and to the ecstasy, you can react all over the place. But it really wants you to walk the path. And so you'll want to look at that and you'll want to go, well, what is it the Kundalini wants me to do? You can ask yourself this question. And as you ask yourself this question, you're also asking the Kundalini the very same question. So you might as well phrase it, well, Kundalini, what do you want me to do? And the Kundalini will often respond to you, well, Mr. Chrism, I want you to clear up some of these karmas that I've been red flagging for you. See this karma over here? Well, this is what you need to do, and I want you to let loose of your ego, and I want you to let loose of these blockages. I want you to follow the clues that I give to you. And then I want you to relay the joy and the grace and the bliss and the love that I give to you to others. It's not so much about you, Mr. Chrism. It's about others. You are being changed into a biological broadcast station of Kundalini. You are a walking, moving, running, dancing tower of energy. And as the Kundalini continues, tells Mr. Chrism, I want you to broadcast that love that I am to other people. And do it in as many different ways as you can, and I will support you in every single way. Okay. And so she continues to tell the extremely slow student Chrism. I also want you to work on yourself. I want you to work on your inner peace, on your serenity, on all of the issues that I bring up for your purification. I don't want you to walk away. I want you to work on them. And if you slip up, it's okay. Forgive yourself and move on, but don't cease in your efforts to go further into the grace that I am, the grace that I am within you. And the Kundalini will tell you these things in ways that are not necessarily verbal, but it will tell you in ways that are definitely effective, but they are feelings, they're intuitions. And by communicating to you with feelings and intuitions, once again, she is bypassing, the sacred feminine is bypassing your reliance on the ego-based communication faculties that you become addicted to. So a few things are happening in this process. You're being opened to new forms of communication, and at the same time, you're being relieved of old forms of communication. In the dual world of the mundane and the divine, there are dual forms of communication, and the Kundalini is beginning to introduce you through intuition, through telepathy, through visual visions, through out-of-body experiences, through waking visions, all of these different things. She's beginning to introduce her sacred child into new forms of communication, just as your parents would sit you up in your high chair at the dinner table and go, okay, this is a spoon. Say, spoon. Well, the Kundalini has got you up on a Kundalini divine high chair going, okay, this is intuition. And this is how it works. And you begin to be trained in how to manifest communication within yourself in a divine manner, in a process that allows you to begin to open to communications of a divine understanding. And so it's necessary for you to go beyond the reactionary phenomena reaction to actual proactivity, even if you don't have continuous phenomena. The phenomena, will subside after a while. And it's supposed to. It's not supposed to be that what has happened is your body has become acclimated to the phenomena. So in a way, the stage has been set. The hall has been rented, and now it's time for you to actively show yourself as a participant in this Kundalini awakening process rather than somebody who is just receiving phenomena from the Kundalini. I'm going to suggest that you need to begin to actively walk into the Kundalini as it walks into you. Hand in hand, heart to heart, eye to eye, third eye to third eye. You walk into this expression, and it walks into you, and together you go into the amazing areas of grace that await the person. And so for many people, they may stop the practice because they're no longer feeling the phenomena. And I'm going to suggest that you need to continue the practice whether or not you feel the phenomena. There's still more refinement to occur, more purification to go. You don't just stop it because you're not feeling it as strongly as you were before. The body has acclimated. It's time to move forward into these areas, forward into grids. Don't forget how important meditation is. Meditation is one of the keys to walking forward with the Kundalini. So do try to give yourself at least 21 minutes of meditation, silent meditation, to start with, and then bring that all the way up at least to an hour a day of meditation, and that is a whole hour of meditation, not a meditation broken up by 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I mean a whole hour of meditation. Wake up an hour before you go to work. Try it out an hour before you go to bed. However it works for you as a single person, for you as a family person. Bring that meditation into an active expression with you. And as you do this, visualize joining hands with the Kundalini within you. Now, for some of you, at the beginning of this journey, there are, as your information levels increase, so will your phenomena increase. Some of the phenomena is amazingly terrifying. And I know I have to talk about this because there are many different ways of joyful resolution with this. One of these terrifying areas is feeling like you've had a piece of yourself stolen, that you've been tricked into giving up a piece of your soul, and that you're communicated in a way that makes you feel that you will never, ever be able to get this piece of your soul back. Well, I want to correct that. Souls are not stolen, and souls don't come off piecemeal either. Don't listen to any kind of programming, no matter how it is given to you, and it can often be given to you as a telepathic feeling of desperation and fear and regret that you have been tricked and that this piece of your soul is missing and it's gone to hell and you're going to be going to hell and all of this stuff. Don't buy into it. Don't buy into it. There's nothing that is missing from you. It's just a program that's being pushed onto you to make you feel a certain way. So it's a communication and a feeling that is being given to you at the same time. In actuality, because you have the Kundalini, nothing's been stolen from you. Nothing can be stolen from you. What you need to do is forgive that source for trying to scare you that way. And move on. Move on. Don't tie in to the feeling of dread that has been pushed into you. And so I really, I have felt this. And oh my gosh, it disturbed me so much. It disturbed me so much that I started going astral in my dreams, and I started hunting whatever it was that stole that piece, or made me think that piece had been stolen. And often you'll feel that a part of you is in a cage, and that somebody has you in this cage. Well, I went to the source of where this energy came from, and because of the feeling that I bought into when this trick was played on me, because of that feeling, well, I was indeed in a cage, and I could see that there were cages all around me, and it made me angry in a very, very powerful way. It made me angry, and I burst out of the cage, and I demanded to see who owned the cage. And I flew up, and I took this person by their lapels, and I flew him in my hands up to the highest window of the room. And, of course, it was a very high room. And I very clearly, in no uncertain terms, told him that he will never approach me that way ever again. And he screamed and left. And all the other cages burst open and, happy endings, right? But if I had not bought into that feeling of dread, I would not have had to do any of that. There was nothing that creature could have done to keep me in a cage without my permission allowing it to happen in the first place. So I don't want you to feel that you can be controlled by some feeling that is projected at you that causes you to feel like a person has tricked you and that a piece of you is now missing. You are whole and complete within the Kundalini, unless you buy into it. And then, of course, if you're buying into it, well, you're going to have to figure out a way to buy out of it as well, like I did. Okay. So happy endings really can happen all the time if you're willing to lose the control that the fear has over you. And so once again, when you're having some of these outlandish phenomena, because they're strange, because you don't know how to walk in these realms yet, it can seem very, very terrifying. And I want you to just relax. I want you to trust the Kundalini within you, and to help you do that. To help you do that, a lot of people have had absolutely excellent experiences using this little tool that I'm going to tell you about right now. If you go to KundaliniAwakeningSystems1.com, and then you scroll down the left side margin, let me do that right now here, just so I can give it to you exactly as it is here. Yeah, you scroll down the left side margin, and you go to the help and support, and you go to the About Chrism thing there, and you'll see this Who is Chrism, and you'll see a picture of Chrism there. I want you to copy that picture. Copy it in color and stare into the eyes. If you ever have a problem with the Kundalini and you stare into those eyes, that Kundalini signature within me will help you come into balance within the Kundalini signature inside of you. Okay? So really, really do that. Many, many people have had a positive experience with that picture. Sintara, are you listening? Sintara? Hello, Sintara?
I am listening. I beg your pardon. Can you hear me?
Have you looked at that picture with any kind of an intention?
Yes, I have, many times. You're talking about your picture, yes?
Yeah, although I can't really.
Yeah.
It's more a picture of the Kundalini to me.
The Kundalini, yes. Yes, indeed I have. I have looked at it, and I find it to be true. I have looked at it in many different ways and with many different intentions, to be honest with you. Sometimes it has been extremely helpful. It has brought me into balance. Other times it has been in a devotional way to my Kundalini. Yes, it's a wonderful thing to do. I definitely recommend people to do it, to try it.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, if you look at that picture, you'll notice that one eye is looking right at you and the other eye is looking somewhere else. Like, that's the Kundalini. So that is the blend. That is the blend of the two that is one. And so that's just one tool. Thank you, Santara, for coming on.
And there is actually phenomena as well. Maybe I could just say that can happen while looking at the photograph, at the picture.
Well, what phenomena did you experience?
Well, there can be different phenomena. I've experienced a lot of phenomena. For example, the face, and this is nothing to do with, in the Chitaka, which would be another word that would be used for looking and staring at the photograph. It would have nothing to do with keeping my eyes in a very non-blinking state, but the face has morphed into different faces. So there has been changes occur in the face. There has been light. I have seen light on the face and colours come on the face, things of that nature. And many people would report very different, that type of a phenomena occurring. So I think it's just worth saying that as well.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Satara. Yeah, that's true. People have reported to me that they have different phenomena, also the facial changes as well. So that is used as a healing picture, actually. So for those of you that may be entering into Kundalini type of syndrome areas, where a lot of fear is being injected into the experience, well, then I will suggest that you begin to look at that picture and just say the words, "I am at peace with the Kundalini in me. I am at peace with the Kundalini in me." And then you can graduate to, "I am in love with the Kundalini in me. I am in love with the Kundalini in me." And regardless of the phenomena that has been causing you fear, that alone, and staring at the picture and really tying into a living teacher, will really begin to turn you around from having the necessity to experience so much fear in your Kundalini awakening process. So there is a tool that is free to you that you can use to help yourself with. Also, there's a group on Facebook and on Yahoo. Both of them are called Kundalini Healing. So on the Yahoo groups, it's Kundalini Healing, and on the Facebook groups, it's Kundalini Healing. And I would invite you to join those groups. And if you just want to help people give healings and receive healings of a Kundalini nature, then I suggest you join those groups and partake in the conversations that are occurring there as well. You'll find in many ways that there is tremendous bliss and joy in giving assistance to other people. And so as we move from responding or reacting to phenomena, we move into a proactive statement of love for others, service for others. This is what I mean by actively joining with the Kundalini and walking the path, doing the service, having the interaction with complete strangers, nurturing your development into a person that is no longer too shy to meet a stranger or unable to assimilate themselves in social situations. Okay, you let the Kundalini guide you, and you feel the level of love as you help that person across the street, or you open the door for a person, or you smile at the person, or you save their lives by responding to an automobile accident. You actually pull your car over, get out of the car, and do whatever you could do to try to help them. These are the Kundalini people. Okay, these are the people that are giving the love as well as receiving the love. The more love you receive, the more you should give it out. It's not for you to hoard within your heart. It's for you to give to others. And not just humans. You can give it to a plant. You can give it to wildlife. You can give it to a wasp, an insect, a fish, an animal, a bird. You can give it to the clouds, the wind, the sun, the rain, the snow. You can give it to the waters. You become this, as I mentioned earlier, this amazing broadcast station of divine love. And it feels so good to do. So, if you have a soup kitchen, or if you can be, if you have a special skill like playing a musical instrument of some sort, and you can go to a ward where there's children or adults who are just basically moribund in a bed, or just waiting in a bed to either get well or to die, you can make their experience. You can become a light in their life, and by giving this light from yourself, you open yourself to manifestations of more light. Okay, you open yourself by giving these services, by giving this grace to other people. If there's anyone who would like to call in, the number is 347-934-0026. You can talk about the subjects that I've been wide-ranging over, or you can bring up a new subject, however you wish. The number is 347-934-0026. So as you give the service of the Kundalini, and you give the service of love from the love that you are given by the Kundalini, so do you begin to embark on a proactive path of grace within the Kundalini. And so you begin to change from depending on phenomena manifesting to becoming that phenomena for other people. And as you continue along that path, like St. Francis of Assisi or St. Teresa of Avila, St. John of the Cross, St. Philip of Neri, on and on and on with all the different saints, as you begin to do that, you begin to effectively place yourself into higher and finer levels of physical blending into the divine. And as you follow some of the saints that have done this, you go so far, and I'm including Yogananda and Aurobindo and Ramakrishna and all, the Indian saints as well. As you go into these areas, as you begin to follow these pathways, great levels of joy are experienced by you, and you begin to walk in a permanent level of bliss all the time. Your body has now changed enough that it can handle longer periods of bliss. And you begin to walk amongst the people with bliss, and people really begin to take notice of you. Okay. And as you walk with this bliss, more and more change occurs of a positive, evolutionary-based level. And getting back to the broadcast station of love-based manifestation on this world, if you can run for a public office, if that is something that the Kundalini is calling you to do, but your ego is saying, oh, I could never do that. Well, I want you to just step right over that ego control, and I want you to run for that public office. We need more and more awakened people in positions of power on this world. We need more women that are Kundalini awakened in power positions in this world. The men have had it. They've had control for a long time, and I'll just stop right there. It's very, very necessary for the other half of humanity to step up to the plate. You can still be the mom. You can still be the head of the household. You can still be that sacred feminine, but you can also be that broadcast station of love and manifestation of love in the political process. I know in some of the other conversations I've had, politicians are bad, da-da-da-da. Well, they're only bad because they're not Kundalini awakened, and they're living by the rule of the ego, by the lust for power, by the the desire to have control over others. If you're an awakened person, a Kundalini awakened person, oh my gosh, what a difference that makes. So I do encourage any and all of you who listen to this to run for public office if you can do so, and stay true to your Kundalini ethics. Stay true, no matter what temptations are given to you. Stay true to the high moral, ethical features of a Kundalini awakening. And you'll do very well. You'll do very well, because not only will it be just you and your ego and whatever networks your ego can set up among humans, it will be you and Kundalini. You and Kundalini, and let me tell you, if Kundalini wants a certain thing to happen, guess what? It happens. So if it wants a bill to be passed or it wants something to occur, then it gets passed and it occurs. Okay? So I encourage you to run for that public office if you can, or serve in another way if you can. But it is very important at this time in our existence, in our spiritual evolution of the masses, that Kundalini people be given the reins of control and you know, within those high ethical standards. So, you know, with that said, don't be afraid to run for public office. Don't be afraid to become a law enforcement officer. Don't be afraid to become an attorney or a judge or a doctor, or anybody that has any kind of a power type of position in society. Step over that ego limitation that says, "Oh, I can't do that." And also, now that we're on to some of these ego constraints, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror, and I want you to bless the person that you are. I want you to bless the looks that you have. I want you to get rid of any of these the self hurt conversation that you might have with yourself. Oh, my teeth aren't perfect. Oh, my eyes aren't perfect. Oh, my face isn't perfect. Oh, my nose is weird. Oh, I have too many wrinkles. Oh, my hair's, doesn't look nice. Oh, this, oh, that. I want you to move away from that negative inner self conversation. That's all ego. You are perfect just the way you look. Now, of course, if you begin to recognize the Kundalini within you, you're a man or a woman, then you begin to do what you need to do to exalt that person that you are, that gender that you are. If you're a woman, be the most beautiful, fantastic, attractive woman that you can be. If you're a man, be the most beautiful and attractive man that you can be. And attractiveness isn't just looks. But if you happen to have those looks, don't shun them because you may not have had the most positive experience growing up or in your early adulthood with being an attractive person. Because I know that that's a whole level of pressure that people have to experience as well. But because you have the Kundalini, everything about you has now changed. Everything. And that includes these ego judgments against yourself based upon looks, based upon how, whether or not you can do this or that, or how skilled or unskilled you are, how educated or uneducated you are. Forget about those ego limitations and bloom, open that flower that you are to the Kundalini sun that is within you and outside of you at the same time. Women, I will suggest that you grow your hair long. Long, long, long. At least down to the level of the belly button on the front, but that far down on the back. The hair is a hollow tube that is almost like an antenna of Kundalini radiance coming out the top of your head. The men will, what they lose on top, they can express through the beard and through these other areas. Men don't typically have a problem with hair. I don't know if you've noticed. But women, grow your hair long. That has been Kundalini advice that I've had for women for a few years now. So if you're really into this, and you really enjoy the teachings that I'm giving, then honor those teachings and follow those guidances. Grow your hair long. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what color the hair is. I don't care if it's gray. I don't care, whether you've tried to dye it green or purple or blue or whatever. Just begin to grow it long. Okay. Grow it long and if you need to, I get a lot of this split end. Oh, I have to cut the split ends. Oh my God, I have to cut. Fine, cut the split ends. But grow the hair long. Let your Kundalini flow through the hair follicles that make up the 1,000-petaled lotus at the top of your head, and let it flow. You see, the birds are totally backing me up on this. If you can hear them here. They're saying, grow your feathers, women. Grow your feathers. Okay, so that's something that I'm just going to throw in there for the moment. But really, really, really focus on ridding yourself of the negative self-worth conversation that you have within yourself. This is part of the purification. This is part of the purification process that you're going through as you begin to walk hand in hand, foot in foot with the Kundalini. Okay? So we're down to about 18 minutes, and I'll give out the numbers one last time here. 347-934-0026. 347-934-0026. Amelia, if there's anything that you would like to say at this point?
Well, I would just like to give out the number again of Eileen, please, for the retreat. I made a mistake when I gave it out the first time. So if anybody has any questions about the retreat and they would like to ring Eileen Lauro, her number is 239-246-5608. That's 239-246-5608. Thank you very much for that. I think I made a mistake the first time around. No, I haven't really anything to add, Chrism. I've been really enjoying the conversation and listening to you. And I suppose just to say, I love the way you express what it is that you say. And when you say some things like you said earlier, will I be able to remember now, you're plunged into a pool of grace. And just when you say things like that, it is just so true. We are plunged into a pool of grace. And that says so much. It's only a half a dozen words, but it is such a beautiful expression of what happens. And I get this, I just love it. So I just want to thank you for that, for the way you express how Kundalini flows. Your expression is beautiful, so thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Santara. And I have to tell the people who are listening to this, when I give these talks, it's not so much a Chrism thing that is occurring here. It's a flow of consciousness with the Kundalini that is being given. I could not do this without the Kundalini on such an extemporaneous level. I don't have paperwork in front of me. I don't have a book in front of me. I don't even have, the only thing I have in front of me really is the BlogTalk radio studio thing that they give you to look at that tells me how much time I have left and how many callers I have on. And I have the flash chat on. I can see all the different guests and and all of this stuff. Even though the flash chat's not working, folks, I've said hello a few times and nobody really responds. So
yeah.
maybe they just say shut up and talk. This is all stream of consciousness. This is all stream of Kundalini consciousness coming from me to you. And as I think I may have warned people in another conversation previously, but I'm going to warn you now. For those of you that are able to have the Kundalini, as you listen to my voice, you will hear and feel the Kundalini coming into your ears. Through your ears, through the tympanic membrane, and suffusing the entire cranial cavity with Kundalini energy, and also bringing it through the spine. So don't be surprised if after listening to one of these conversations, you begin to experience Kundalini phenomena. It is natural. It is a form of audio Shaktipat that occurs when you listen to a Kundalini awakened person talk with you about these things. So if you have that proclivity, if something in you is saying, oh my gosh, I'm really attracted to this Kundalini word, I have no idea what it is, but it's such a cool sounding word, and you don't feel the same way about the word like tortellini, then it's sorry.
No, that's so true.
Or Santorini, or anything that ends with an "ini." When people get fixated on the word Kundalini and they don't know why, and the reason why they have this fixation on the word Kundalini is because Kundalini is calling to them. And if you're one of these people and you're hearing my voice talk about the Kundalini, well, I want you to see this as an invitation. Not an invitation from Chrism, but an invitation from your Kundalini to you. It will guide you on where the most appropriate information is for you. Just make sure you delineate that from your ego. Your ego is going to try to guide you as well. Say, oh, no, you can get the best information over here at Kundalini such and such, and gosh, you get to have a medal that says you got Kundalini awakened, and there's a special drink that only Kundalini awakened people get to have, and it lasts for a summer, and there's a surfboard that says Kundalini awakened on it, and you get to use that. You might want to avoid some real serious. If you hear somebody say, oh, yeah, I did Kundalini last summer, it was really fun. Well, then you know that they haven't done it, because Kundalini is life-changing, and it doesn't ever stop. So for those of you that have this Kundalini proclivity within you, listen to the voice, allow the voice to permeate your brain, and open to the flow of energy that comes to you through this conversation. Let this conversation become the invitation for you into the heavenly fields, the divine fields of transformation and evolution that everything on this planet is working towards. From the rocks to the plants to the bacteria and the virus to the spores and the animals and everybody is working towards becoming more and more active within the divine manifestation. And recently we had the big 2012 things where everything's going to end, and fortunately that didn't occur. But what did occur is we are moving further and further into the spiral of the galaxies, and there are levels of spiritual grace that are being given through the physical medium of the galaxy, but more so through the spiritual multiverse that surrounds the galaxy. Okay. Remember, the physical plane is just one plane of many, and the divine plane is that which created all the planes. And that's why humans are so special, at least here on this world, where we can go from zero to divine in a lifetime if we're willing to do the work, if we're willing to walk the path. Typically, it takes more than one lifetime, though, I have to say. Typically, it takes more than one lifetime. And the saints and the people who you are, you Kundalini active people listening, you have lived many, many, many lives of purification and refinement for this to occur, within you. So, I don't want you to think that this is all a one-lifetime thing. The culmination point or the awakening point can be a single lifetime thing, because you're having the Kundalini right now. You're having a lifetime right now. So therefore, you are beginning to walk in the heavenly fields right now. So take that in consideration. Know that. Those of you who are just developing this interest, and those of you who already have the Kundalini, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, you feel that connection, you feel that grace, you know that this is the ultimate path that a person can walk while having a flesh body on this world. The ultimate path that a person can walk while having a flesh body on this world. So with that in mind, I want to leave you with that thought. And once again, I would like to thank Glenn Ola for the KundaliniAwakeningSystems1.com website. I would like to thank Amelia Santara for the support of this program. I'd like to thank Eileen Laurel for her support in the many ways that she supports, and for filming the video with me yesterday. And I would like to thank all of you who are listening live to this broadcast. I would like to extend an invitation to my private students to call in with whatever questions they have, or to open themselves further into the graces that I'm teaching them in the many different ways that are being given for them to receive it. I do have private students, and if you're interested in a private student relationship with me, then I would suggest that you contact me at K as in Kundalini, KFireForAll at yahoo.com. So that's KFireForAll at yahoo.com, and we can begin to set up teaching times for you. I would like you to visit Kundalini Matters at gmail.com. I would like you to visit Kundalini Living at, I think, gmail.com. I'm not quite sure about that, but it is Kundalini Living, and if you do a Google search, it'll come up that way. I'd like you to visit.
Sorry, because they're not. It's not Kundalini Matters at Gmail. They're blog. It's Blogger. So it's at blog, whatever that address is for the blogs. That's my email address, Kundalini Matters at Gmail. But the blog is Blogger. If you Google Blogger and Kundalini Matters or Kundalini Living, you'll get the address.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Well, there you go.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have it from Santara that it's a Blogger address. So go to Kundalini Matters Blogger, and then you can reach the blog. Ascension Kundalini is also a blog site, so go there. Feel free to join any of the communities, Kundalini Awakening Systems 1 at Yahoo groups, Kundalini Awakening Systems 1 at Facebook, Kundalini Awakening Systems1.com, the main website. And I look forward to interacting with you if you would honor me with your presence. And so, Amelia Santara, I'd like to thank you for, once again, assisting me with this program and allowing it to occur. And thank you, John, and Jonathan, Christopher, and Emma, and everybody at your house.
You're very welcome. It's an honor for all of us, indeed. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'm going to sign off, and a beautiful, wonderful, bliss-filled life to you. Thank you for listening.